Hello y'all, this is Nectar Spacey. Welcome to my channel. Today is a new day to try something else new with a web camera. From now on, you'll be seeing me instead of hearing talking. So, it'll be much more entertaining to see my reactions to all the events that are happening. Um, this is the second face reveal, and then it's just gonna start getting repetitive from now on. Of the same thing. Let me get it up. I'm gonna get the T0 set. Alright. 3, 2, 1, 0. Yo, hello. It's me, Nectar Spacey. Welcome to my channel. Today is another launch of Firefly. For Firefly. Alpha's launching today. Um, so, um, today's mission is Noise of Summer. The launch time for this is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024 at 11:04 p.m. CDT, 9:04 p.m. PT, and 12:04 a.m. EDT. Um, yeah, so this is a real special launch for Firefly. Um, this is This is made by The rocket is made by Firefly. It's Alpha. It will be launching CatSat, CubeSat, MiaSat, R5C4, R5C2-2.0, SOS-I, Tech EDSat 11, Serenity, which will be launching multiple payloads into sun-synchronous orbits. As I can see from here, so yeah, there will be about 11 payloads, maybe. This will be launching from Slick 2-2 West Vandenberg Space Force Base, California, USA. This will be the 127th orbital launch attempt of 2024, the 5th mission for Alpha, and the first mission of Alpha this year. Let's get on to the weather briefing and then to simulations. Yeah. So weather's looking much more less cloudy than the last launch, which is good. So we'll get more clear views of Firefly this launch. I mean Alpha. Let me get it up for y'all. As you can see from here, it does look like there's gonna be some clouds, but there's much more visibility during the launch. This is the weather during the launch time. So hopefully we'll get better views than we were gonna get last time. Yeah, everything looking good with that. Now to my thing I've been working on, my simulations. I've been working on those for a while since I've been doing this Firefly launch. I had some issues with it before, so now everything's back. I've been very proud of this. Um, give me a second. Here's a simulation of the Firefly launch today. Amazing views of this launch. With this simulation launch, it looks so cool. We have multiple views, ranging from this camera to this, to this, to this. It's all realistic. Even pad cameras, strong back cameras. It's gonna be good. Anyways, we're gonna recline the strong back. We're gonna actually open the arms and retract the strong back instead. Actually, I feel much more safer with that. There you go. Strong back to retract. Get ready for terminal count in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Firefly. Bugles pitching down. The weather's also pretty handsome. And the daylight time is also pretty accurate. This is probably what's going to look like tonight. It's mostly nighttime. Get ready for the eagle. Day separation confirmed. There we go. First time doing this. Get ready for fairing deployment. Fairing deployment confirmed. Also, there will be remastered cameras in Falcon 9 to get better views of it too, since I'm remastering all of these. So, wow, that looks beautiful. Just Firefly going towards the sun. Looks beautiful. There we get Seco. Ending the mission with payload deployment, hopefully without a failure. Alright. Let me just check if they're starting propellant loading. Okay. Well, pilot loading is well underway, as I said. So, Firefly will be starting their stream very soon, in about 30 minutes. Um, I will be back soon. Just enjoy the views, enjoy everything. I'll be right back. Just give me a second so I can figure this. Maybe this will work. Give me a second. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. Hello, y'all. This is Nexus Spacey. Welcome back to the Firefly launch of today, Noise of Summer. I'm back with Ian today.
Hello everyone, what's up?
Yep, we are
Good.
ready. We are ready for this launch.
It's indeed an incredible launch. 5 launches? Wow. Wouldn't expect something this crazy for it to not launch. I mean, it is a pretty cool name, Firefly. Indeed, right?
Yeah, Firefly's the company. Yeah, Alpha. Alpha's the name. I always get those mixed up. Alpha and Firefly. I thought Alpha was the company name and Firefly is that rocket. It's Firefly. Firefly sounds like a cool name for a rocket, but the rocket's name is actually Alpha for some reason. But yeah, Alpha is going to be launching today on its fifth flight, like you said, for the first time this year. Last time it launched 2 times. One failure. Last time I was here to watch the launch, we did have a little bit of a problem with the second stage engine, and it did not meet its expectations. So the payloads were not deployed at their right orbit, lowest orbit, not in sun synchronous. So something happened with this. Something happened for the fourth flight. I mean, but today hopefully will mark a successful flight. Today they'll be starting their stream in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So we'll be doing a little bit of commentary before it starts. But yeah.
Indeed, yeah. So so
Wait, give me a
you
second.
did
Can you do commentary? Sorry, I'm back. I
oh,
had to deal with multiple problems in real life, but yeah, I'm back. Did you do commentary? I don't really care if you didn't, um, because you're still here. Anyways, yeah, um, yeah, commentary. What was your question you were gonna ask me before I interrupted?
what's your reaction when or were you when the first flight happened, Firefly?
No, no, I wasn't. Ooh, they're starting to stream. 2 minutes. Okay, I wasn't there for the first flight. I was there for the fourth flight. That was my first time seeing a Firefly launch with streaming, and for the first time ever acknowledging it for live. Um, that fourth flight was my first launch that I got to see. Um, it was very palpable, and it was a very cool launch. I like Firefly. Firefly is just like a Falcon 9, but starting from its beginning life, but it's not rapidly reusable. It's rapidly refurbished or rapidly. Okay, so like Aster, for instance, they're not going to reuse their boosters. They're going to make them faster. They're going to make a fleet of boosters that are going to be expended for every flight. And their dream of that happening did not happen. But everything
Oh,
happened. What? Everything that happened with Astra did not go well. Multiple flights failed, multiple flights went well, but more of the failures caught up to them. So they overall canceled the or one of the Astra rockets. Rocket 2, I think, is the newest rocket, but they're running out of money. But Firefly is very similar to SpaceX, and Alpha is very similar to Falcon 9. Um, I do think they
okay.
have an advantage over him, but yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that's all I have to say. Um, do you have anything? Actually, I have a good question for you. Um,
Yes.
so what do you think is going to happen in this launch? There's also 1 minute left until the launch, so I might as well get the stream up.
Maybe what could happen? Not sure. Maybe like well, there could be a lot of things that could happen. So who knows?
Yeah,
It's just a wild bet till we do it.
yeah,
But if it actually reaches orbit for the first time, I will be very surprised.
yeah. Anyways, the stream is started. Yeah, let's do this. The stream is about to, it looks like it's about to start. I mean, it already has.
Nice. Okay, sweet.
Release system is armed.
Vehicle is transitioned to autonomous mode.
Amazing.
Here, go for launch.
Nice.
3, 2, 1.
Wait, you know what? It kind of is like Falcon 9 because the Falcon 9 uses Carolocks and Mytholocks.
SF operations will continue on
When the
CD1.
engines are about to ignite, green and pink.
T plus 1 minute.
Oh, it's green.
Max Q.
Rico.
Just noticed that and it's kind of surprising.
Stage separation.
Bearing separation confirmed.
Yeah, here we go. They're starting, I think. Oh yeah, they are. I hear them.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Firefly Aerospace's stream here. We are looking at Flight 5 of Firefly's Alpha rocket. The mission's called Noise of Summer, and we are currently T-minus 30 minutes away from a liftoff currently scheduled for 9:04 p.m. local time out there on the West Coast. Tonight, we are working with a 30-minute window. My name is John Galloway. I'm with NSF, and NSF is providing live stream services for Firefly this evening. But y'all know how this goes. I don't just think that I'm going to sit here and talk about the rockets. I get people who know a lot more about rockets than I do to join me. And so with me once again from Firefly, I've got Morgan Fiane. Morgan, how are you doing here? You're a composite structure engineer with Firefly. How's it going?
It is good. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. All right. Folks, if you weren't here last time, Morgan, tell us a little bit about what you do at Firefly.
Yeah, so I am a primary structures responsible engineer. So what that means is that for the Alpha sitting on the pad and for our development medium-sized launch vehicle, I am responsible for the kind of main skeletal structure of the rockets, plural.
Like the big rocket part, like the body of the rocket that everything gets bolted to, the engines, the propellant gets stored inside, like the main structures.
Yeah, the stuff that holds everything together and holds the propellants, all that good stuff. I've probably gone spelunking in every single tank that you see sitting out there at the pad.
Good deal. Folks, hey, right here at the top of the show, if you were watching previously, a couple days ago, we had a scrub. And so we're going to start off talking a little bit about that scrub, what went on, and what we've done to make sure that we're go for launch this evening. So, Morgan, tell us a little bit about the previous scrub and what was going on.
Yeah, so y'all may have heard Mission Control say helium, and I know we've got multiple sensors and gauges watching Alpha at all times, a lot of kind of like automatic health checks for the vehicle, and the system aborts if one of those sensors is reading out of range.
Gotcha. So this wasn't like a person sitting there with a red button or anything like that?
No.
This was the rocket watching its own health and saying, hey, whoa, what's up with this one sensor?
Yeah, exactly. So we had one sensor that was reading off nominally on one of the ground support. One of the ground support sensors was reading off nominally.
Right.
And that one sensor caused both aborts that we had on Monday night.
Okay.
So yeah, the team fixed the issue in the last day or so and did some additional testing, and we're ready to go today.
Good deal. I know a lot of people, like I read comments, I read chat, a lot of people were super surprised that Firefly was able to go for a recycle there. We had that 30-minute window, and people saw the scrub there at the beginning, and they were like, oh, it's over. And then the team went for a recycle. What is it that allowed that to happen? Like training, preparedness? What's going on there? Yeah,
it's a combination of a lot of different things. We could talk about the type of propellant we use, how we load the propellants on the vehicle, but mostly what it comes down to, in my opinion, is the size of Alpha.
Right.
And like you said, the preparedness of the team. So like they have been trained for this. They're on the ball. And so that's just kind of part of the requirements of being a launch operator in space.
Right.
Is that, hey, we've got a 30-minute window. You have to make the most of every minute.
Absolutely. And we certainly did last time, even though we didn't get off the pad. But here we are this evening getting ready to go at it again. So we're currently, where are we at? Coming up on 25 minutes here. We're going to talk a little bit about where you might be able to see this. Remember, this is launching from Slick 2, SLC, Space Launch Complex 2, out at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Now you know the rocket, where the rocket is. Tell us where you're watching from, because you might be able to see this. With that 9:04 p.m. liftoff, what might people be able to see, Morgan?
Yeah, so just like our last attempt, we're launching at a time where you can see something called the twilight effect or the jellyfish effect. We kind of have the perfect conditions for it tonight. It's when the rocket exhaust plume is visible in the upper atmosphere and it's illuminated by that setting sun, so it's visible for longer periods.
Gotcha. So the sun has sort of gone down, it's getting dark on the ground, but the sun's still shining over the edge of the planet. You get something up high enough, like a rocket that's spewing exhaust,
yeah,
and the sun sort of lights that up and gives that show in the sky. Look at this. We've got, this is a previous launch, actually. This was Flight 3, Victus Nox, taken all the way from the Sonoran Desert over in Arizona by Sean Parker. This might be what you see, slightly different conditions, slightly different trajectory as well. But hey, what do you have to lose? Whenever we get the launch going here, you see it take off, head on outside. If you're on the West Coast, look out to the west and see if you see something in the sky, lit up rocket exhaust. If you get a photo of it, tag us on social media. It's Firefly_space if you're over on X, the Everything app. And we would love to see how y'all experience the launch this evening. Also, as we go through the evening here, we're going to be looking for some audience questions. So tag us at Firefly Space on the YouTube channel and put your questions in. No way we're going to be able to get to them all. But if we see a couple good ones in there, we'll try to work them into the show as we have time. So where are we at time-wise? Just under 24 minutes. Excellent. Let's talk about this a little bit, Morgan. What are we launching this evening? We've got multiple payloads on here. What's on board the rocket? Yeah.
So today we've got 8 payloads for NASA VCLS. Just like you've explained your acronyms, I'll try to explain mine.
I appreciate it.
It's just part of my lingo. VCLS stands for Venture Class Launch Services.
Gotcha.
So what we're launching for them are these 8 payloads that were selected through their CubeSat launch initiative. So what that initiative does is it kind of gives educational institutions and nonprofits a low-cost access to space.
Gotcha. We'll get a little bit more information on that coming up later in the show. We've got some information. I think there's some interviews that came through there with people that were putting together payloads. But what an opportunity to be a university that has the access to put something into space on a program like this that NASA's providing.
Oh, yeah. I would have killed for an opportunity like this when I was in college. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Good deal. And another interesting thing here, the payloads on the way to orbit, they're small sats. They're very small. They're sort of CubeSat size, a couple used on the CubeSats, but we're dropping them right off where they're going to be doing their missions. They're not going to be propelling themselves out to other places.
Yes.
Firefly is putting them right in that orbit where they'll perform their science.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see here. You can see on the screen, folks. Oh, actually, we're going to highlight it for you. It's a little foggy out there at Vandenberg, but we can show you what is behind the veil of fog. Some fuel levels there as well. This is really cool because this is driven by live telemetry. Some of the programming team over here at Firefly put this together. And I want y'all to watch. You see how it's all 100% right now, but the LOX tanks actually get topped off. And so you may see those numbers go 99, 98, then back up again. That's because they're topping off the LOX, right, Morgan?
Yeah, so we fill our LOX to where we fill it comparatively warm, and it's cooling off while it's there. It's boiling off.
Right.
So as we boil off, we lose mass. So you'll see that number flicker from 100 a little bit lower, and then we'll top back up.
Gotcha. All right. So be on the lookout for the... Oh, it just did. There,
yeah,
see?
there it is.
It did. It went down to 99 and back up again. Normal thing there as we get that live telemetry off the vehicle, and we can sort of see through the fog, provide y'all some X-ray vision all the way into the propellant tanks.
This is the future.
The close-up cameras are good, too. So what we've got coming up, folks, is a go, no-go poll you're going to hear from the LaunchNet. It's going to happen in just a couple minutes. Morgan, tell us a little bit about this go, no-go poll, like what's going on.
Yeah, so the LC, the launch conductor, will ask for a go or no-go from 20 or more kind of subsystem payload range operations leads. And it's their chance to kind of look at their emotional support data, like I like looking at mine, and kind of say, yes, we're ready for launch, or no, we need some time to troubleshoot.
Gotcha. So we are going to listen in just a second here. But the thing to remember, this is sort of the human in the loop part of the launch. But every voice that you hear is backed up by an entire team of people that worked on these systems, worked on these structures, and are sort of like supporting the person whose voice you might hear. So it's not just 20 people involved with the rocket. There's a lot more Fireflies behind the team.
If you need to raise concerns, please hail the launch director on CD1. Otherwise, the conversation should take place on LVN or AnomalyNet as appropriate. In the event of an abort, the protocol is to call abort, abort, abort on CD1. A hold is called by range support personnel. The launch director will call abort, and the vehicle controller will abort the auto sequence. In the event of a hang fire, only the launch director can make the call. The LD will announce VC hang fire abort on CD1. The vehicle controller will then use the hang fire abort button on the autos page. A hang fire is called. The vehicle controller will transition the flight computer into emergency shutdown through a direct vehicle state update in the GUI.
Here's the poll, guys. Let's listen in for the go, no-go polls for all the systems on fire from Firefly and on Alpha.
Amazing.
This is the launch conductor on the countdown net with a ready report for terminal count. RC, go. FSW,
Go.
GSW,
Go.
GNC,
Go.
Prop 1,
Go.
Fluids 1,
Go.
Structures,
Go.
AVI,
Go.
FTS,
Go.
GC,
Go.
DC,
Go.
Payload,
Go.
Mission Manager,
Go.
OO,
Go.
DISPO,
Go.
IFCO,
Go.
OSM,
Go.
ROC,
Go.
Safety Official,
Go.
Chief Engineer,
Go.
Launch Director,
Go.
LDA.
LDA. Go.
We are a go for terminal count.
CD1, Slick 2, A2, engine terminal pre-chill auto complete.
Good copy.
All right, and there you have it, folks. Alpha is go for launch. We got an entire green board. Actually, I got some green on me there, I guess, but I'll take it. All of the stations polling go, good to go for launch there. So as we go through the rest of the count here, let's go ahead and look at how Alpha is sort of put together, the different parts of the rocket, how many stages, the engines, that sort of stuff, shall we? Morgan, tell us a little bit about what Alpha is comprised of.
Yeah, so Alpha is a two-stage rocket. It can carry about 1,000 or more kilograms to LEO, which is low Earth orbit. It's a little under 100 feet tall, so 97 feet, almost exactly, and it's 6 feet in diameter. So it's the largest vehicle in the small lift class. And how it can achieve that is, well, A, it's being driven by 4 of our Reaver engines and 1 of our Lightning engines. So those are all, designed and manufactured, tested, built, everything in-house.
In-house.
Exactly, yeah. And they're also all what's called a tap-off cycle engine. Very cool stuff. A more simple engine in terms of how those turbopumps run. And that's just so they're more reliable, easier to manufacture, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's really interesting, but I want to hear about the structures.
Yes. I have, I've faked it till I maked it, talking about propulsion for long enough. Yes.
Also peering through the fog here again, y'all, so it's getting tough to see the rocket, but carbon fiber composites.
Yes, that is my bread and butter. They're strong, lightweight, all that good stuff, so they can lift heavier payloads at a lower cost. And I've brought back, this time, my forbidden ice cream sandwich. And just to show everybody kind of once again, this is a test coupon, again, so it's not directly representative of what's actually flying on a rocket.
Yep.
But a lot of my structures look like this.
Right.
So the kind of cookies of the ice cream sandwich are really thin but really strong layers and layers and layers of carbon fiber.
Right.
And then the inside is a foam core that provides stiffness and also kind of like thermal shielding for the propellants inside. And I've upgraded my prop setup today. This is a tap test coin. I never leave home without it, and that's probably the nerdiest thing that I will say in a while. Basically, what I use this for when I go spelunking into tanks is you hit this coin on pieces of carbon fiber when you're listening for things like potential damage or inclusions, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
can we do that on the can you tap it, or is it going to be too loud?
I mean, I can try.
Give it a try real quick. Let's see what it sounds like.
All right, let's hear.
Like live structure testing here on the live stream.
That noise plays in my dreams. I do this way, way, way too much. But yeah, that's called tap testing. It's NDI, so non-destructive inspections.
Right.
It's one of the many forms at NDI that we do at Firefly. But when I do inspections, post-test and pre-test, I'm actually hitting a metal coin on composite. It's very scientific.
Gotcha. One more really quick thing that I wanted to hit on. Excellent. Got a little update in my ear there, folks. One more thing that I wanted to hit on really quickly. I heard some people, like I said, I read comments, and folks said, oh, we talked about the 24-hour turnaround, how it was in the barn, not attached to the rocket 24 hours. And so a bunch of people were like, hey, well, did you roll it back after the scrub? So did we? Did we actually put that back in the barn and reattach it, or how does that turn out?
No, we didn't. So we already completed transport and mating ahead of the previous attempt.
Right.
So yeah, there's no need to kind of redo that unless we needed to take it down for longer periods.
Gotcha. So a lot of things still going on here, but with a short turnaround, just a couple of days here, no reason to completely disassemble the rocket, take the payload off the top of it, and do that all again. But in the last couple hours, they have been reconfiguring the pad for flight, begin the fueling, and all that sort of stuff that's well underway now. But we're now less than 15 minutes away from flight. I'm going to wait for the fuel overlay to come up again at some point. As we get under 15 minutes, or we are under 15 minutes here, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen, because a lot of stuff's going to happen fast.
Yeah, so some of you might be able to see that little blurb that just popped up in the bottom right, but right now we are starting our stage 1 engine chill.
Right.
So we're pulling locks through our Reaver LOX pumps, and that's in order to kind of chill them down and make sure that, just like last time, we're not surprising them with any comparatively super cold fluid.
Temperature changes from
Any big
ambient to super cold.
Yeah, exactly. So we're making sure those are ready for operation. We're starting kind of TTEB checkouts, TTEB being our green igniter,
right?
Our igniter fluid that, just is dying to be on fire.
It just wants to be on fire.
Very relatable. We're also looking for spin start verifications. We're looking for, the fan favorite is the TVC wiggles.
TVC wiggles?
Yeah.
I think chat saw some TVC wiggles last time that I didn't see. So, folks, we're going to try to get that camera up here in just a second. If you see the TVC wiggles happen, let us know in the chat, because it's there's a lot of stuff for us to keep an eye on here. But help us out. If you see the TVC wiggles happening, let us know. Apparently, chat went crazy last time.
Yeah, I didn't see any, but they saw some. I missed it. But yeah, the TVC wiggles are really fun. They should be starting at T-minus 13 minutes, so coming up pretty soon here, you should start to see those Reavers kind of wiggle around.
I just want to stare at the engines, but we got other stuff to talk about.
Me too. So yeah, I'll move down the list. A lot of this might seem a little repetitive. There's only so many ways to skin a cat.
That's okay.
But yeah, at T-minus 8 minutes, we'll start fuel pre-press. At T-minus 7 minutes, we'll do stage 2 TVC wiggles.
Right.
And we do have a camera in there, just like last time, so you might catch those too. At T-minus 6 minutes, Alpha will transition to internal power.
Okay.
So right now, it's plugged into ground side power, but we will need to disconnect that when we leave the ground. So we do it at T-minus 6 minutes, kind of to give Alpha a little bit of time to get it under its own power and make sure that everything's healthy.
Right.
This whole time, we're executing over 300, commands and health checks, most of them automated, if not all of them automated. So, we'll disconnect Alpha from ground side power, and then it's kind of on its own in terms of that.
That's sort of like, all right, Rocket, you need to be able to operate without being connected to the ground, without being connected to power. So you don't do it right when liftoff occurs. You wanted to give it some chance to be on its own, but you want to provide it that support right up until, I guess, T-minus 6 minutes.
Yeah, we might be kicking it out of the house or off the planet even. Get off my planet.
Get off my planet. Nice.
But yeah, we want to make sure it's healthy before we send it.
Yep.
So at T-minus 5 minutes and 45 seconds, actually, you'll see those collar arms begin to open.
Right.
Those collar arms are kind of like a little necklace around Alpha's kind of lower stage 2 LOX tank. And what that does is it kind of supports the rocket at the kind of, oh, okay, yeah, they're open.
It looks like you can see them there. You can see them open right there below the frost line, sort of sticking out to the side like crab pinchers. I mean, right?
I will never be able to unsee that. Thank you.
Sorry.
But yeah, those collar arms open because we're about to send the rocket, and pretty soon here, that entire strong back will actually start to retract, and that's so that it's kind of out of the way for the rocket to lift off. I don't know if we've got a camera on them. Oh yeah, there's one.
We have cameras, Morgan.
We do have. I know you have cameras.
We
John.
have cameras.
We got cameras with cameras.
I like it.
But yeah, that strong back will pull back, and just all of that extra support we're giving Alpha, it won't be needed when it's time to send it. So we kind of cleared out of the way.
All right. What did we say last time? The non-required loading?
Yes. I knew you wouldn't let that one go.
I like it too much. Like I like hanging out with the engineers here, but it was the wind was it wasn't wind. It was non-required loading.
It's non-required loading. If we don't need to load Alpha, then why should we?
There you go. And a couple things will happen after that. We're still watching for that strong back to retract that's actually going to pull some of those umbilicals a little tight, not pulling them all the way off now, but they'll see them sort of stretch out there on the screen. And after that, I think we get into arming the FTS, right? Yeah.
So after you see those umbilicals pull tight and their QTs are kind of getting ready to separate, we'll arm the FTS at T-minus 4 minutes. The FTS is the flight termination system. It's kind of a normal safety thing that's required on all rockets.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Then we'll see some bleeds, get some air on the line, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming up.
Yeah, that's what's coming up.
All right. And then, folks, we are rapidly approaching T-minus 10 minutes here. And what we are going to see after liftoff is going to happen really quickly as well. So, Morgan, let's talk through that really quickly, too.
Yeah. So we call our T0 not when we light our engines, but when we actually release the clamps that are holding Alpha to the pad,
right,
and we let it go. So we'll actually light our 4 reavers at T-minus 2 seconds. We'll have our stage 1 ignition, and then at T-minus 0, we will open up the clamps, and Alpha will start to lift off.
Gotcha. And that's when T0 happens?
Yeah, that is T0. And then we'll be burning those stage 1 engines for 2+ minutes,
right.
But at T+ 54 seconds, we'll actually hit Mach 1, so we'll go supersonic. And then at T+ 1 minute and 5 seconds, we will hit something called Max Q.
Max Q.
Max Q.
Well, you know something? We never talked about what the Q stands for. It's
maximum aerodynamic pressure. Yeah.
There's no Q in that.
There's no Q in that, but you know what? Engineers and mathematicians love to throw letters in our calculations because math wasn't hard enough.
So we talked a little bit about that last time, but as a structures person, Max Q is definitely an important part of the flight for you.
Yes, completely unbiased answer from your local structures engineer. Max Q is the point where the vehicle experiences the most kind of loading and stress and strain, whatever you want to call it, that it will experience at any point during flight, because you're getting this crossover. You can probably Google a very nerdy graph if you want to.
You have to say nerdy graph.
I have to say nerdy graph. That's a crossover point between static and dynamic pressure. And at least for a rocket, it's different between rockets and airplanes. This happens when we're accelerating faster and faster out of the atmosphere, but that atmosphere is getting thinner and thinner.
Gotcha. We mentioned it last time, like you think, oh, well, the maximum pressure is just when it's going the fastest, right? When it has the highest speed or whatever. But it doesn't really work that way because remember, the rocket is getting out of the atmosphere. And as it raises up out of the atmosphere gets thinner, so there's less aerodynamic forces acting on the rocket. So it is that sort of point where I almost feel like we need to show this on the next live stream.
Yeah, we really should. We should grab a max Q graph.
Nice. Anyways, folks, we are continuing to tick down here. Max Q, an important part. You'll be wiping.
That is the part where you will probably hear me like, whew, when it's actually going, because that's the part where my structures have done their job.
Right.
So we size them to be able to handle max Q, but we can't size them to handle much more than that because then it'd be super heavy. Gotcha.
All right. And then after that, you're going to see some perfectly normal things. Stage separation will occur. We'll see a stage 2 ignition when that lightning fires up and starts pushing the second stage the rest of the way into orbit. Fairing jettison, totally normal thing as well. Don't need to be carrying the fairing along with you anymore.
Yeah, it's just extra mass. It's done its job protecting the payload from the PPF to the pad, and then from the pad to space using the ECS.
All right.
Sorry, that was a lot of acronyms back to back to back.
Did we say how that's? Wait, we said ECS and PPF, Payload Processing Facility, and ECS is Environmental
Control System.
Control Systems.
Yeah, nice. There we go.
We've done this a few times.
We've practiced a couple times.
All right, and that's going to continue going on for till 8 or T plus 8 minutes and 10 seconds when that second engine cuts off. And then we're going to have a long coast phase.
Ooh,
and that is going to go all the way up until 44 minutes and 33 seconds when the first payloads will be deployed. That actually is going to take over 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes for all the payloads to come out. Now, real quick,
yeah, it does play well.
we know these payloads come off because we have telemetry coming down from the rocket. But in order to get that telemetry down, we need to send it somewhere. It needs to end up on the ground somehow, and that's where a ground station comes in. A little bit earlier, I heard on the sort of chatter that there might have been an issue with one of the ground stations, so some of the telemetry might not be coming down, but it wasn't a blocker for launch. So just because that one ground station wasn't there might not stop us from launching, but we may have a couple dropouts in the telemetry. Is that right?
Yeah, so if you don't have line of sight to a ground station, and this is including when you're kind of over the horizon of the Earth, over the curvature of the surface, you can't transmit your data until you have that line of sight. But like you said, we've been having an issue with one of our ground stations today, so basically what happens is we have to wait until we pass over the next one.
Gotcha. But there's multiple ground stations. It's not like just there's one location that you pass over and all the data comes down.
Yeah.
As the rocket goes around the globe, there's a couple different ground stations it can downlink to. So we'll see which one of those ground stations gets our telemetry and our updates there.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to stay live throughout most of that time and continue to share updates and other information about Firefly with you. We're going to talk a little bit about the NASA payloads that are on this mission, where they came from, where they go. Hey, there goes the Strongback, it looks like.
I was going to say, don't you dare say Cotton Eye Joe.
I wasn't going to, but then you did, so.
Man, I walked right into that one.
You set yourself up. You played yourself. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about Firefly's upcoming mission to the moon, Blue Ghost. But I want to get one more question from the audience in here. I've got a couple more minutes. So this was a good one. Some very keen eyes out there. Why is Alpha's fairing and upper portion painted white? Last time it was silver and black. This time it's actually all nice and clean looking white.
Yeah, good eyes. Yeah, so we found through previous flight data that we were losing a little bit of propellant mass on stage 2 during its coast phase. Specifically, our cryo propellant, our cryo LOX was boiling off.
Boiling off.
Yeah, so we were losing the capability of that propellant to kind of take us further.
You're losing the propellant.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So what we figured was, by looking through data, we found that out, and then we decided in order to further optimize stage 2 and reclaim that propellant, we painted the thing white. Like, I'm sure, you know.
That's the thing.
When you wear a black shirt outside, you get hotter. When you wear a white shirt, you're less hot.
You're a little bit cooler.
Yeah, the color white just kind of bounces those wavelengths from the sun right off, so they never transform into heat, and they don't heat up your shirt. In this case, they don't heat up our rocket skin.
The rocket skin. Now, that explains the tankage, like why the second stage that actually holds the propellant, the LOX specifically there, is white. But why is the fairing white?
We thought it would look a little goofy if it went white, silver, white, black. So we thought it would look a lot cleaner if we just painted everything white. And hey, maybe we'll, you know, bounce off some more light wavelengths just for funsies.
So there you have it. Some thermal management with the white on the second stage, and some fashion for the white on the. It would look super clean.
She had a bit of a makeover. She looks good. She's looking her best.
It really does look clean. Hey, shout out to the Next Spaceflight Discord for putting that question in my inbox. There's some super fans over there that really show up for the Firefly launches.
Yeah, I'm surprised somebody caught that. The color change.
It looks too good. It looks good.
It does look a little too good.
Yeah. All right, folks. The clock continues to tick. You can see the rocket. Look how alive the rocket looks. But we are coming up on T-minus 3 minutes. There's going to be a launch conductor no-go poll. We got another poll coming up here. You're going to hear the launch conductor hear or ask the chief engineer, the launch director, and the range operations commander for their final goes and commits to launch. Now, I don't want to talk over them because this sort of final go for launch.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and listen in on the launch net.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
All
right. So
this is what we've been waiting for.
Yep.
10 seconds to final cryo-helium press.
All right. I'm glad you're here to witness it, because last time I did it by myself. So I'm glad you're here to see this. It's a little bit. It's not fully nighttime yet.
T-minus 2 minutes. This is the final commit for launch.
It's almost
Chief engineer.
2 minutes.
Please
We're counting
go.
still.
Send it. Launch
Wait,
director.
wait.
Go.
Rock.
Rock, range green.
We are go for launch.
All right.
We're go for lunch.
We will also be quiet.
And there you heard
to
it, folks.
30.
Go for launch. Less than 2 minutes now for Flight 5. There's all the Fireflies watching nearby here in Austin, ready for this to go. There you go.
Yeah, yes.
Well, let's go ahead and listen in on the sounds of the pad and the control room, and we will see you on the other side.
All right. We'll do commentary until T-minus 30 seconds. We will be quiet.
Helium QD's venting
We'll be
shortly.
quiet until stage separation. But we'll be doing commentary until now. I think we had Max, or my bad. We might be seeing a rumble event tonight. I'm not saying we will, but the chances of seeing Firefly launches is high.
T-minus 60
All
seconds.
right, 1 minute.
All right. 30 seconds.
They are in work.
All right. Engines are pressing for flight. Everything looking nominal on board. There's some systems. I'm starting. Okay. We're going for launch. Let's send it. Let's do it.
T-minus 30 seconds.
All right, let's
Alpha
watch and
transitions to
listen.
autonomous mode.
Alarms off. Normal stage 1 TVC motion.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Operator transition to ground. That's it.
I have fire at the NOS.
Oh my.
You're good.
Actually, let's do commentary because it doesn't matter. Because it's too exciting to not do commentary. You want to talk about this? This is amazing. You can talk if you want. I just can't help it. It's too hard to celebrate when this happens. But wow, Firefly has just launched its 5th mission.
I see no fires in the fluid.
Vehicle supersonic.
They're on the MLS.
Max Q.
can really see those exhaust gases expanding there.
Yeah, as we get into thinner and thinner atmosphere.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Visual confirmation of the thinning atmosphere as it pulls away from the planet.
MLS fire appears to be out. I see no other fires on the pad.
Look at that.
Stage
Nico.
separation.
Stage 2 ignition.
Amazing.
Chamber pressure looks nominal.
Amazing. Stage separation has happened. First stage is going to the ocean. Second
They're the
stage.
fairings.
They're the fairings.
Yeah, you can see them fall away.
Look at that.
Oh my
Look at
god.
little jellyfish.
Oh, wow, that's so pretty.
Oh my gosh. Yo.
Just a little hint of a jellyfish.
Now's the time to go outside and see if y'all can see this, folks.
Definitely can't see it. Wow, that is beautiful though. Look at that jellyfish. That's a beautiful jellyfish. You might be able to even see the first stage still from these views. But wow, we're picking up commentary now. Ian, did you see all that?
So now we've gotten all the way through that fairing jettison, and we have a couple minutes until we get that second engine cut off. But the track's out there. Look at this.
Oh, man. What a great view.
It really is.
Wow, look at that lightning engine. Wow.
Yeah, so lightning will fire for a couple minutes, but we will see SECO, which is second engine cutoff, at T plus 8 minutes and 10 seconds.
So we've got just about 4 more minutes here. Now, a lot of times we see the little ice sort of coming off. You see little pieces of ice and stuff like that. Remember, all this is chilled down, and ice does build up. I think it's little pieces of fog that it's taken with us. This looks like it's the forward-facing payload cam.
It is, I believe. That is a payload right up front, I think.
Excellent.
But yeah, all that ice gets nominally either melted on the way through the atmosphere or shaken off during flight to where that added mass isn't any hit to stage 2.
Makes good sense. It's something we see on a lot of launches.
Yeah.
Ian, you there?
Yeah.
Did you?
Still
Oh my
tracking
gosh.
it down. I just love the colors on this shot.
We can commentate still, but they're talking, so we might not be able to. But look at that! That is amazing. That's the most beautiful shot I've seen of an engine, like in
This
a
really
while.
is one of the things, you draw a rocket as a kid, you have the
Yeah,
pencil flame coming out of the bottom, right? And
Yeah.
once you get up there and there's no atmosphere to push that flame back into that sort of pencil rocket exhaust shape, it just goes sort of straight out the sides there.
It almost looks like one of those little comic book, kapow.
Nice.
It's kind of the shape it reminds me of.
So still have it from the ground, and we've got video from the vehicle there.
Wow.
Pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
Coming up on T
Wow.
plus 6 minutes.
Congratulations to Firefly for this amazing achievement.
Indeed. Very nice. Hopefully everything goes well after this.
Yep.
And 6 minutes, 10 seconds. We've got about 2 minutes left in the burn of the Lightning engine.
Man, I wish we could hear it.
I'm telling you, microphone on the structure.
Microphone on the structure.
Pick up the
It's
vibrations.
genius.
Yeah.
No.
You should work for Firefly.
I don't think
Why aren't
this
you
is
in the
good,
structure
but I see
department?
I am right now. I'm working with
particles
Firefly,
on
so.
Yeah,
from everywhere.
that's nominal.
Okay.
I love the glow as well. You can see it kind of climb up that nozzle extension as it gets hotter.
Yep.
Wow. Fire.
And they've still got it going downrange. That's got to be one of the ground trackers out there at Vandenberg.
Wow, that is Falcon 9 second stage couldn't really do this, or we could do it, but man, they got a long shot of it. That's the even ground cameras
Coming up on 7:10, 7
from the
minutes
Falcon 9
and 10
launch
seconds
couldn't get this.
after liftoff. So about 1 minute left in the burn.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. Congratulations.
Honestly, it's like been so exciting today.
Now, I don't know exactly how long we're going to have this link to the ground station with the live video, but we're going to continue showing it to you as long as we're getting it here.
Yeah, it's not going to last forever.
Not gonna last forever.
Yep, indeed. Yep, everything looking nominal on the second stage. Velocity on the second stage is looking good.
There's those payloads again.
We're getting ready for SECO in a
Well
couple
on their way
seconds.
to space.
Should be coming up on SECO.
Yep, I called it. We should be getting our velocity to 26,000. Or it's 27 kilometers per hour. We should
SECO.
SECO. Yep. Woo! Yep. Nominal shutdown. Nominal shutdown of lightning
Nominal
engine.
orbit insertion.
Nominal orbit insertion. Yes. Woo! Yes. Looking good.
I'm shaking a little bit.
There you go. Well, you heard right from the launch net, nominal orbit insertion. I do want to point out the video, we don't exactly time that video coming down, so I wouldn't look at the exact timing of the video versus the time we saw it come off. It does take a little bit of time for that video to get down from the rocket, go through the ground stations, make it all the way over to the video servers, then we get it encoded and we send it back out. So that exact timing, because, oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
That's the Earth.
Is that the Terminator?
You can see
The limb of the Earth there on the right-hand side?
Wow, that
It had a little rotation there. What, you know something? There you go. All right, you saw it sort of freeze. No pun intended. I mean, it's not a pun. It's actually ice.
It does freeze.
The video feed freezing up there. It looks like we lost the link to the ground station, but you heard a couple different things before we got to that 36-minute coast phase. The biggest one was nominal orbit insertion call out on the launch net.
That is a good thing to hear.
All right. All right. So the important thing here is that the mission is not over. We are still coasting in this coast phase. We still have payload deployment coming up. We're going to stay live all the way through payload deployment and share as much of that with you can. Remember how the ground stations work. If we get the link back, we'll try to show it to you. If not, we might not have that visual to show you, but we will be standing by for the confirmation. And the other thing is, just because it doesn't go over the first ground station, or we don't have that first ground station, we might be able to get over the next ground station. It doesn't just pass one ground station on its trip around the planet, where Firefly Alpha Flight 5 has put it on its way. Wow. It looks like we might have acquired it again for a second here.
Whoa. Holy.
That's just too cool.
That is so cool.
Hey, folks, a quick reminder here. Again, the feed may come in and out, but you know something? I would argue that we show you as much as we can get, because I know what the Rocket Nerd's like. But if you caught this anywhere, if you've got a shot from your cell phone, it doesn't even have to be a fancy camera or anything like that. The best camera is the one you took a picture of the jellyfish with. So if you've got something, I'm going to listen for 10 seconds instead of talking about posting on social media. Really don't want to talk over anybody, but I think that might have been expected loss of signal.
Yeah, that might have been LOS.
In 10 seconds. You know when you're talking and then somebody's talking in your ear, sometimes you don't quite get it. I think that was expected LOS in 10 seconds. But if you took some of those photos, tag us over on social media. It's Firefly_space on x.com. Now, we've got the payloads well on their way, Morgan. Tell us a little bit more about the payloads, where they came from. A lot of different institutions, organizations here, providing payloads to be sent to space.
Yeah, again, they were all selected through NASA's CubeSat launch initiative. But yeah, those 8 payloads kind of come from all over the states. There's a couple from a bunch of universities.
Yeah.
There's a couple from NASA themselves. Oh yeah, there's a video.
There you go.
Yeah, so our first one's from the University of Washington. Yeah, there it is. Another from NASA Ames. We've got Teachers in Space.
The Serenity payload.
Yeah,
Wow.
we've got 2 more from Johnson Space Center in Houston.
With much more difficult names.
We've got another from the University of Arizona, the next one from the University of Kansas, and then payload 8 out of 8 is from the University of Maine. So yeah, again, these 8 CubeSats come from universities, nonprofits, and NASA centers, and they were all selected through NASA's CubeSat launch initiative.
Right. All right. So a little bit more information on that. The best way to learn about how NASA actually selects those payloads is to hear straight from NASA. So we've got a little bit of a video there for you. But folks, again, I know the rocket just launched. Stick with us. We're going to continue sharing updates with you in whatever we get that we can share visual-wise. But we also have a special guest who's going to be talking about the Blue Ghost mission, Firefly's lunar lander. Let's roll this NASA video. We're going to be right back.
Part of NASA's mission is to inspire the next generation of explorers and to innovate and increase the depths of human knowledge of our planet and the universe. The CubeSat Launch Initiative is providing opportunities for students and educators to experiment with technology and send their missions to space.
Oh. Wow. Wow. So, just to recap, since, oh man, so I'm going to recap what we just watched. So as you saw, Ian, Fireflies launched their 5th mission of Alpha, right?
Yeah.
It went very nominally. Everything looked good. Let me just check on my stream, make sure everything went well. This is attempt number 5, including the 1 recycle attempt.
Share visual-wise, but
Wow.
Normal stage 1 TVC motion.
That was pretty nice.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I just can't. Wow. What a launch.
Actually, very beautiful.
Yeah. Ooh, there's Crew Dragon. Way much better than Firefly's Alpha, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're T plus 15 minutes and 33 seconds into the flight. This launch has went very successful so far. Like I said, we won't be listening to the Blue Ghost thing because that has nothing to do with the mission. But I'm just doing this to just recap of what happened. But wow, today's launch was just beautiful. You saw that jellyfish? That beautiful jellyfish. It's just crazy. Wow. Yeah, Firefly barely launches. It just launches maybe 2 times a year. So this is very rare to happen. But they're gonna start getting faster with launches. There might be 4 launches this year, which I hope they do even more. But still, wow. Do you have anything to say, Ian?
Uh, the only thing I have to say is this was the most successful launch ever.
For them,
This
yeah.
was for them, yeah. This was perfect.
Yeah, not like the other flights. Let's watch all the other flights they did. So I'm gonna go to next space flight. Okay. So Fire Alpha right here. So don't you see something really strange about this? I'm gonna pull it up on the screen, or no. So there's one failed mission. Um,
Demo flight, correct?
yeah, obviously, what you expect? From a
I
demo.
mean,
Yeah.
let's see how it was, though. I mean, how bad could it have been, right?
Okay, just let's watch. Let's watch it real quick.
There we go. Good luck,
10,
Firefly.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Hey,
4,
you.
3, 0, 0, Zulu.
RC transition operation procedures to PRC LP 1435. IT commits to PRC LP 1457. Report anomaly. Please confirm I have no fires on the pad. I have no visual. Please confirm no fires on the pad. Moving to ground.
I'm looking. I'm about to send them all to pad sweep. Cameras are sweeping the pad.
Plus 30.
S1 pressure profile nominal.
So
Right now on maximum aerodynamic pressure. That is the moment where the vehicle will experience
Plus 130.
the most amount of aerodynamic pressure. So this is when you're really testing your fuselage. Is it going to hold up? We are going through that right now. So the vehicle is clearly holding up. That is a great milestone. We might even hear Max Q call out on the comms
Not yet
net.
supersonic.
Not yet supersonic. That's maybe not great. The vehicle, there's a chance it could be slightly underperforming. But again, ever. This is unbelievable. Again, if they get to stage separation, that's going to be a huge milestone.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Vehicle is supersonic. Wow.
Like, this is the part where it started to, like, fail.
That's a good...
Oh!
There has been an anomaly.
Yeah, that was a failure. Their next launch was pretty good. Was a wait. No, they do one launch every. Wait, no, they did 2 launches in 2023, 1 launch in 2022, and 1 launch in 2021. Wow! And also the rocket's not silver no more. That's white. So you're gonna be expecting to see it. Partial failure. The second demonstration flight, Alpha was able to achieve orbit for the first time. However, educational payloads on board were deployed at a lower orbit than expected. So the second stage underperformed. Did not do what it was supposed to. Vitis Nox was a full-on success with the second stage bringing payloads to the targeted orbits, which was surprisingly good. And this is the mission I streamed. I'll bring it up actually. I can actually do that. I don't normally do that, but yeah, I like that. Let me just pull the Firefly launch up. I think it's on here. I'll notice it when I notice it. Yeah, it's been. Oh, there we go. Yeah, here we go. Hello, y'all. Yep.
That's great news. See you from Las Vegas. Let us know on social media, please. Listen in on activity, so it'll
Get us some. We should get some great view. Yeah, this is my early days, by the way.
20 seconds.
There's mission control before liftoff.
Stage 1 TVC motion. What's nominal? 15.
Everything seconds. Go from engine start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Look at that! Oh my god!
There's the engine.
So, Fly the Lightning was a partial failure. It was the same problem from the other partial failure to the Black. The second stage burn suffered problems. It did not deliver the payloads to its precise orbit. Communication to the spacecraft has been established, and the mission operations are now underway. And the payloads, yeah. So it's basically the second stage underperformed again. One successful launch. If this flight goes well, this will mark the first or second successful flight. Um, um, First successful flight in 2 years. No, 1 year. About 1.5 years. Firefly has came a long way. To be honest, they have done lots of manufacturing to get themselves here. Dream though, I also want to point this out. Dream did not go to all these things just blew up with the rocket, by the way. That's pretty sad to know. But all these things you see right here did not go to the orbits and did not get to go off the second stage, sadly. But hopefully Firefly will get the pace up with Alpha, and hopefully Alpha's performance goes up and the second stage performs nominally instead of underperforming or overperforming. So, do you have anything to say, Ian? Anything more?
Phenomenal flight, honestly. And one thing also is that I just realized that they're gonna do a second Vulcan flight on this year, September this year.
Yeah,
That
we're gonna stream that with you.
Yep, and that's gonna be the same one that's gonna happen with also blue, can you call it? Blue Origin.
New Glenn. We're definitely gonna stream that one.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
imagine two launchers in one day.
Oh yo, that's gonna be crazy. I'm okay. What day is on September 29th? It's a Sunday. I'll be able to watch it. If it launches on Sunday, I'll be able to watch it with you.
Wow, amazing.
I'm surprised it's not on a school day. That never happens. Never happens on the school day. Every important launch always happens on the school day, but no school day if school's not happening. Also, Crew Dragon is also going to be launching soon in August next month with Crew 9. Serious. Oh man, I can't wait for flight. I can't wait for flight 2 of Vulcan. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. To be honest, wow. Oh, Elytra mission on the 15th. This is
Oh
Alpha.
yeah.
Alpha's gonna be launching another one this year. Alpha. What day is on October 15th? It's a Tuesday. I'm not gonna be able to watch it unless it's like very early. Maybe it's like 7 a.m. I mean 7 a.m. Shut up. Why am I saying that? AX4 is happening in October.
Hmm. Go to last.
What? What?
Go to last and see what's going on at the very end.
Oh, my bad. So
Scroll down. Oh.
Yeah, also.
They're finally gonna do a Ariana 64 in literally 2060. What?
Wait. That test flight is coming soon. I need to see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, you gotta go first. Also, where the it's in that category. Just gotta scroll up.
There we go. Ooh,
Votes.
1 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm gonna be able to watch it. Yes. July 9th and 5. Oh, I almost fell. I almost fell. I almost fell. I'm getting too excited now. Okay, 1 p.m. I'm gonna be able to watch that. You listen. We watch it with me. You gotta do it, right?
100%. I'll be there.
It's a test flight, so you know it could blow up, right? It's gonna be fun. Every test flight is just something that, like, oh, also another Falcon 9 launcher launching at a good time. I can stream it for y'all. Monday, 4:20 p.m. CDT. Sunday, okay, but Starship Flight 5 is not gonna happen this month. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. If it does happen, I will delete my YouTube channel.
Wait, go up?
What?
Yeah, but it says net July 2024.
I swear to God, if it launches on July, I'm gonna be. I'm.
If it launches on July, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry
Ooh!
so hard
Wait,
tonight.
Cirrus NG1 21. Oh, I'm pretty sure I go back to school on August, but not like maybe August 9th. So we'll be able to stream Cirrus 20 or Cirrus NG21. Yeah, lots of things are planned for the future. More Starlink missions. RS1, which has not launched yet. RS1 is pretty. We don't care about RS1. Mainly, we just care about all the important small to large launch vehicles to super heavy lift vehicles, which are New Glenn, Starship Super Heavy. Um, but wow,
Arizona 62.
yeah, I don't think it's a heavy lift. Let me see.
It's a medium lift.
Status planned.
Well, no, it's a heavy lift because it uses 2 solid boosters.
Oh yeah, it will use 4 at max too. Okay, wait. So this is the 15. Oh man, I can't. So we will definitely stream this Aryan mission 100%. We will not miss this for y'all. This mission
You
will
know
either
what?
blow up or go successful. Okay. But
You
yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. Um,
It's only less than a week till we launch
yeah,
the.
in 6 days, under a week.
Yeah,
Yeah. There'll also be some Chinese launching tomorrow. If we can stream that, we can stream it. But I doubt it. Because
yeah,
Chinese kind of things are very secret and they don't really want to share nothing.
yeah.
Here,
Chinese is very quiet for some reason.
chat on YouTube.
On everywhere.
Oh yeah, everything's pretty quiet, but for
But
sure,
it's like, whatever. Who cares about China? China is copying us, so we should be angry at them.
yeah, they're trying to copy. They copied lots of crap. Falcon 9. It's Falcon Heavy actually. They so much Falcon Heavy looking stuff. It just makes you want to. It's not the Chinese people though. It's the Chinese government. Remember that. It's not always the people. The people are the ones who live in China. It's the people. It's the corrupt government. Just remember that before you talk bad about something. It's a fact.
The government is being
Corrupt.
angry.
Yeah, that's why they just copy everything. Next thing you know, you're gonna see some chopsticks being built at China and a Starship Super Heavy looking crap being built. But listen, hopefully that won't happen.
God, no way. God, what is wrong with this team? Okay, you know Saturn Aerospace, correct?
Yeah, the Starship launcher looking.
Yeah, yesterday they literally did a 10-kilometer hop with their newest one. Like, bruh. That makes me angry. Wait, it's more than it's already past 15 kilometers? Huh? What is it gonna do, like 34? I'm not sure. There are 2 kilometers.
Here's the flight trajectory. Mm.
Alright, belly flip maneuver of Starship. Alright, good news there. And they touched it down. God. Oh, it looked low.
Okay, so okay, wait. Okay, following Chico is a 36 minutes to coast. Okay, it's a 36 minutes and 23-second orbital coast until the payload. So the order of the payloads deploying happens at T plus 44 minutes and 33 seconds, and continues about a minute and a half between. So yeah.
Yeah, we don't know anything else about what's going on with the payload or anything like
Yeah,
that.
but at T plus 36 minutes, they'll start getting ready for payload deployment.
Hmm.
Um. Oh yeah. Excuse me.
Alright, so what
Blue
now?
Ghost? Wait, Blue Ghost mission? What they talking?
Oh,
What? Falcon Eye's taking it from him? Dang, that feels bad. The whole Falcon Eye just took it from him. Man, I thought Firefly was going to the moon. Did they
oh
just?
man. I mean, it is a better option, even though that
Yeah,
like
Falcon 9 is
Fireflies.
more reliable. They should launch it on a Falcon Heavy though, but they done it with IM mission, so they can do it again. But that's happening in October. But Firefly's going to the moon, we can say, but they're not actually launching on Firefly. Firefly is not that much ready for that yet. Firefly is kind of like Falcon 9, but it needs like way much more performance to launch to the moon. So we won't be seeing Firefly launch Alpha to the moon. The price of this mission is $69 million. Um.
I'm gonna call it an end here. I
Oh
think I'm
wait,
gonna for
another
today.
mission is happening for Firefly's Gari. They're gonna be launching a lot.
Yep. Alright. I think I'm gonna head out for today.
You're gonna go?
Yeah. Kind of good night for me.
Alright, yeah.
Alright.
Just before you leave, I will be just watching payload deployment and ending the mission for the day. Anyways, Ian, see ya.
See ya.
See,
Hopefully you have a good day.
yeah, see you for tomorrow. Wow.
It's about the Earth, and then carry on with the rest of our mission around the moon.
Gotcha. All right. So after Blue Ghost launches, it's going to have to get its way out to the moon, right? I think there's like a 45-day transit between the Earth and the moon. It's in Earth orbit for a little while. It transits out to the moon. It orbits the moon for a little while too.
It does for about 2 weeks.
For about 2 weeks. Okay. And then that actually, why does it take so long?
Well, there are a bunch of different ways you can get to the moon.
Right.
You can go in a nearly straight shot, similar to how Apollo did it.
Yep.
We prefer to actually take a slightly more roundabout trajectory because it gives us more time in Earth orbit to test out our systems, to show everything on the vehicle works before any critical maneuvers, to prove out that the payloads can do their checkouts and that they work, so they're not having to start troubleshooting when we have a limited 2-week period to operate on the lunar surface. Do things like calibrate our engines to make sure they're well tuned before we do things like lunar orbit insertion, where it's a one-shot type thing.
Makes good sense. All right. And we get all the way out there to the moon, and then you've already sort of mentioned you're going to operate for 14 days, basically a lunar day.
Yes.
Out on the surface of the moon, and then you're actually going to go into the lunar night. Why is that?
Well, there's a phenomenon that's expected to happen at lunar dusk when the sun sets and the solar rays are going parallel to the surface of the moon. It's expected that some of the dust may levitate off the surface.
Levitate off the surface?
We are going to try and image that for NASA.
No kidding. So that's where, you've got the lunar day, solar power being beamed, not really intentionally beamed, being captured, being collected from the rays of the sun that are sort of reaching it there. But once the sun goes down, that's the right way to say it. Yeah, the sun goes down on the moon.
It does.
Sure, it does. I'm like, does the moon rotate? The moon? Anyways, you lose that solar power, and you have enough stored in the batteries to operate for a couple hours, and a specific thing...
About 5 hours,
About 5 hours. And a specific thing you're doing there is going to be to try to image that rising dust, levitating dust.
Yes.
No kidding. We have enough bandwidth to get this imagery back down again?
We do. We actually have very talented telecom engineers who have figured out a way to get us 10 megabits per second.
Okay.
That's HD video, or approximately the equivalent of.
I'd use it for HD video.
Okay. So that, I think, is something we're used to from Earth, but we are 1,000 times further away than something in low Earth orbit. So I think, given that, it's extremely impressive that we've got a system that can handle that.
If people are like, oh, I have so much more than that on my cell phone or at home, well, your cell phone or your house isn't on the moon, so.
Yes.
Excellent. I do believe coming up here, we've got a lot more to talk about. We're continuing the clock counting towards the payload deployment on Flight 5 here, folks. But Will, thank you so much for hanging out with us here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Excellent. I think we got a little bit of a video here to show more about Blue Ghost. We'll roll that. Movie magic will happen, and we will be right back.
Payloads to Mare Crisium, which is in the northeast quadrant of the moon's near side. This mission in particular marks a significant step forward in advancing our lunar research and enabling a sustainable presence on the moon. We've developed this in central Texas, just outside of Austin, and our Blue Ghost lunar lander will enable payloads to operate through transit into the lunar night, which is about 14 Earth days, and will also operate into the freezing lunar night. It's been a little over 3 years since we won the CLIPS task order. It's been really interesting. You basically spend a little over the first year designing the vehicle and understanding the requirements and laying a really strong foundation. And then you move into basically your manufacturing and integration phase over almost 2 full years. And then you close out with over a year of testing. So this is integrated testing on the lander and then ultimately environmental testing of the spacecraft itself. So you kind of see these different phases of the vehicle from birth all the way through landing on the moon.
We have a diverse set of payloads going on this Blue Ghost mission. We have some that are operating in transit to the moon, tracking GPS signals, as well as testing out radiation-tolerant computing. But then on the surface of the moon, we have a couple of more robotic payloads that are interacting with the lunar surface. We have a pneumatic drill. It goes down the surface of the moon to understand heat fluxes and take some temperature measurements. We also have a lunar planet vac. It essentially is collecting samples and processing those and getting some information from those, and it's doing it in a much more affordable way than has been done traditionally in the past. It's been such a journey to get there, and what excited me the most is seeing the first payload integrate onto the lander. We've been working so hard to get to that point, and after that first payload, was integrated. We kind of kept going payload after payload and got all of 10 payloads integrated onto the vehicle and functionally tested them out. That's just been very exciting. It's really getting real now that we can see all of the progress that's been made and all of those payloads on the lander.
One of the things that motivates me a lot and inspires me a lot are the people that work on the program, because everyone basically came from a very unique, very diverse background, but came to work together to solve a joint problem. And so it's really interesting every day to see how people approach problems or see how people overcome challenges. And then ultimately, you look into the clean room and you see the result of everyone's efforts.
All right, folks, we're rapidly approaching the payload deployment, and we're going to be standing by to listen in on those ground stations and see what confirmation we get. But our movie magic has happened again, and we've actually got Morgan back with us. Morgan, welcome back.
Hello, thank you. Misdirection. I like it.
So coming up here, we expect for the vehicle, the second stage is carrying the payloads, to come back within range of a ground station. And when it comes back in range of the ground station, we're expecting to get some information back, right?
Yeah. So we passed over some stuff. We were blind for a little bit, but we're about to come into line of sight to a ground station.
Right.
And so we're kind of coming over in the middle of our payload deploy. So we won't have live footage for payloads 1 through 5.
Okay.
But we will have live footage for payloads 6 through 8. So kind of the order of how we're going to be hearing things and looking at things is first we'll see number 6, then 7, then 8.
Right.
And then after that, we're going to kind of wait on Alpha to send all its data down to the ground station. And it should be sending back some replay videos of the first 5 that then we'll watch after.
Gotcha. So what's going on is it's still sort of coasting around the planet right now.
Yeah.
And it's coming back within range of the ground station, but it's going to start deploying payloads before it actually, regains the link with that ground station, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Gotcha.
it'll be doing its work in the background. We just won't see it until we link up with that ground station.
Right. That's like a program sort of thing where the rocket is programmed, all right, payload, payload, payload. It's not like there's somebody on the ground that has to hit a button to, okay, let the next payload go. There's like a lever you pull or something. That's not how that works.
Big red button to deploy payload. That would be amazing.
There'd be 8 of them, actually, you have to do in a row.
That'd be so great.
But the rocket is doing that autonomously, as it was programmed to do here as we coast, even though we don't have the ground link to the ground station.
Yes.
And if the ground station behaves and accepts the link whenever it comes back over the horizon, the first things that we might see from it are video, like a live video, but that's expected to be the last 3 payloads deploying.
Yes.
And while the payloads are deploying right now, actually, because we're 44 minutes, just over 40 seconds, it's actually going to be recording the visuals of those other payloads deploying, and if it gets that opportunity there, it's going to downlink that recording to us after we get the live feed, is the expectation.
Yeah, that's the hope.
That's the hope.
The priority is that we're getting Alpha health data down first. But yes, I am hoping to see some of these payloads deployed.
Gotcha. It's always the thing. It's like, I want to see the live cameras in space. I want the selfie stick, like looking back at the rocket. I want the inspection bot that flies around and shows you everything, like a little autonomous inspection bot or something. All live cameras. But here, not the primary mission. The primary mission is putting those payloads up into orbit and getting them on their way so that they can do their own missions, reporting back. I say reporting back into NASA. It's not like the payload like calls up NASA and like, hey, I'm here. Getting the link back to the folks that will be running those experiments on the payloads. I know that I'm always excited to see the imagery, but the primary mission is getting them up there, and that basic telemetry doesn't need to be HD video. If we get some, we'll share it with you, but we'll be standing by. So,
yes. Oh, sorry. I'll jump in really quick because I do want to set expectations. So if we do get that replay video back, there is one payload that is out of the camera view. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think TES-11 by NASA Ames is kind of bolted on the opposite side of where our camera's sitting.
Right.
So even though the payload will deploy, we're not entirely sure if we'll actually see it on camera.
If we'll see it on camera, right?
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there, you're counting, and you're like 1, 2, something like that. There are some payloads, or at least one payload that we may not actually see on a video. Exactly how that's going to come back in the replay, well, you'll find out when we find out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So that is going to be our plan. But we are still a couple minutes away from these, I guess, the ground station reacquiring us here. in the meantime, these payloads that are being deployed, are we still going? I'm not going to try to call out each payload. I'm not going to look at the clock.
Some of them have some gnarly names as well. Sorry, Johnson, but yeah, R5-S4-2.0.
It's a tough.
Doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Yeah. I wonder if it's an acronym. I don't think it would be. It's got too many numbers in it. But instead of us saying right about now, this payload should be deploying, we'll wait till we get that reestablished ground link, and we'll let Mission Control handle what's been deployed and what's not been deployed. We're just here hanging out with y'all as the rocket sort of coasts back into range of the ground station. We talked a little bit about our own payloads.
Yes. I'm kind of taking back the plastic dinosaur now.
Really?
yeah, maybe a little bit.
I mean,
we got to keep it silly
instead.
Yeah, I think it should be a duck instead.
So not a big change.
Not a big change. Still a plastic animal.
There's got to be something structurally interesting as the structures engineer that this animal would be, like a carbon fiber duck.
Well, it can still be plastic and made out of carbon fiber
at the same time.
Yes, resin is plastic after all.
You have a favorite carbon fiber?
Do I have a favorite carbon fiber?
I don't even know if that's a thing.
I've never been asked that nerdy of a question before.
We're in new territory now.
No, I don't. But next time I look at our rolls of carbon fiber at the Rocket Ranch, I will pick a favorite type.
I'm going to be like, that's my favorite right there.
Whatever's the least problematic on the given day during manufacturing. That's my favorite.
It may sort of ebb and flow, your feelings for each type of carbon fiber weave.
I'm like, that one was fraying a little bit yesterday. It didn't cut very well. So today, this one's my favorite.
Like a disapproving look, like, you know what you did.
You go sit in that corner over there and you think about it.
All right. There in Mission Control, folks, you can see they are also standing by for the reacquisition here as it comes over the horizon towards that ground station. So continuing to hang out, we're now T plus 48 minutes, 48 and a half minutes actually, into the mission here, and payloads should be deploying.
Yeah, they should have been deploying this whole time. And I think the first live payload is expected around T plus 51 minutes and 53 seconds. So we've got a couple more minutes to wait until we hope to see some live footage.
Gotcha.
But yeah, again, that will be payload number 6 first.
Right.
So we're seeing 6, then 7, then 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the same sort of thing. Like while we were going through this, I was like, man, I don't know what these payloads look like. Like, is there a payload spotting guide or something like that I could maybe learn to spot? Like, oh yeah, that one's the CatSat or whatever. But I'm not going to sit here trying to identify which payload is which.
Yeah, I don't have a pamphlet that tells me what goes where or how it falls away from the rocket.
Yeah.
So I'll just look at the pretty. Oh, look at them.
See, Firefly is still out there. Actually, we're right before the 4th of July. Are we past midnight now?
You know what?
Oh.
Almost.
Yeah, just a few
Texas
minutes
time,
before midnight.
almost.
I only work
California
in T plus
time.
and T minus clocks right now. Like, I don't actually know what time it
True.
is.
There's nothing else. There's no room in my brain for anything but the countdown clock right now.
But the countdown clock. The count up clock, I guess.
I guess in California it would be. It would be 4th of July.
Other way, East Coast.
Other way, East Coast.
East Coast
That's
is 4th of July.
See,
California
brain empty, countdown clock is the only thing in there right now.
can enjoy the 3rd of July for just a couple more hours.
The 3rd of July.
All good. Coming up on 50 minutes. And as soon as we get some information, we may be quiet all of a sudden if we start to hear the launch net.
Yeah.
We're trying really hard not to talk over the launch net. I know I've done a couple of rocket streams, and I know how people feel if you talk over the countdown net, the launch net. So
we don't mean to.
we really don't mean to, but we also like talking about rockets.
Yes, I love talking about rockets.
All right. So 50 minutes, just 50 minutes and 30 seconds here. And we'll continue to listen in. Let's actually just listen into Mission Control here for a second. Again, just erring on the side of caution here so we can hear those call-outs from LCC, which is?
Oh, sorry. I didn't study.
Switching to HBK Cortex.
I wasn't ready for it.
All
data's
gone.
flowing.
AVI on CD1. Payload deployment of Sockeye, Test 11, Serenity
R5S4 and R5S2 confirmed.
And there it is.
There you go.
So coming up in a couple seconds should be CATSAT.
So it looks like we came back into range of that ground station, and the rocket transmitted information down to mission control saying that it had deployed those first 5. Did he read all 5?
He did read all 5 because I was following along.
You were following along. Thank you. This is live video from space. You can actually see the Earth. Look at the curve of the Earth there in the background.
Man, what a rewarding feeling.
Yeah.
Just to look at that and be like, yeah, I put that there.
I put that there. Look at all the people.
Yeah, they put that there, really.
Yep. Who came together to work. And now the rocket doing its job, and they can be out there watching the show. Y'all really delivered these payloads sort of like on a platter, it looks like.
They're kind of on a little plate there, aren't they?
They are. It's a payload attach fitting. It's like the payload attach plate.
PAP?
The PAP.
PAP.
So we've got that bright sun there sort of blowing out on the right-hand side. The curve of the Earth down going across the bottom of the screen. Little hiccupy on the video, but that's fine. It's in space. Again, the primary mission was not to put a fancy camera into space. It was to put these payloads into space. I'll take all the frames it'll give me. I'm okay with it.
Oh, same.
On CD1, payload deployment with CubeSat confirmed.
That would be the, if it was CubeSat and not the generic CubeSat term, that would be University of Kansas we just heard on the net.
Yes. KUBE, maybe.
Now, in some of these cases, they're dispensers, right?
Yes. So when we talk about a 1U of size, it's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeter cube. So we have a lot of 3U dispensers on Alpha for payloads that are 3U size. Their payloads come in a bunch of sizes. They can come in 1U, 2U, 3U, 6U, 12U.
Sure.
And yeah, a lot of the ones that we carry are 3U.
All right. And just after T plus 55 is when that playback may occur. Again, if you see something change, we do expect that the rocket was recording the payloads that deployed first, and we may get a jump here as it begins playback instead of live video. Look at the Earth, though.
On CD1, payload deployment of
like
MESAT confirmed.
And that would actually be the 8th one in the deployment. MESAT from the University of Maine. Outstanding. All right,
CD1,
so this, you see how it just changed.
There it is. We don't even have to say anything.
Yeah, geez, we'll just let them do the stream.
Yeah.
So the reason we got the big play or the big change there is because this is the expected playback. Now, it's not all of the time. It was programmed to record for a short time before deployment, and then during deployment and a short time after deployment. So let's see what we get in the playback. I'm not seeing a lot of motion there on the playback. There it just flipped over, but every now and then you get some pixels changing. But again, we have heard from Mission Control the telemetry confirming the deployment of the payloads there. The video is bonus for us. We had no clue what we were actually going to see on it.
Yeah.
But I argued very strongly myself, like, hey, whatever it is, I know that people will understand. Let's see it. Let's see what we actually get back down from the rocket. But it's not exactly like a spring, like sproing, every payload making its own noise coming off the top of the rocket or anything like that.
I do wish. Also, I was corrected by one of my coworkers when I was off screen. We do have audio on the rocket. They're called Excels.
Excels?
Yes.
Are they like microphones, something that's like touching a structure?
I had totally forgotten about them.
Really?
Yeah, they record audio data.
I like it. See, that's a different view there, because it's like sort of switching around to a couple different, I guess, views. But again, it wasn't recording the entire time. It was just recording the deployment of each one a little bit before and a little bit after.
Yeah, I think it was something like 10 seconds before deploy, something like that, roughly.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, y'all, and see you for the next launch.